Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to My Mom's Basement. It is a very special edition of My Mom's Basement with the one and only Yungblud. He just dropped his latest album, Weird. And man, this album is weird, but in the best way possible. The songwriting, the production, the genre bending. I've been loving this album, man. When did this start coming together?
Thank you, brother. It's been about a year in the making, to be honest. I started it last year, and I just wanted to create an album. Like, even if we can forget about the pandemic right now, I wanted to create an album for the weirdest years of our lives. You know what I mean? I wanted to create an album that talks about life from a perspective of real truth. You know what I mean? I didn't want to write an album that was like full of bullshit. You know, I wanted to write an album about sexuality, sex, identity, drugs, love, heartbreak, just a fucking neat whiskey story about life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you said it's about the weirdest years of our lives, and we just had one of the weirdest years of our lives. I assume the pandemic threw a wrench in this whole thing for you. How did it affect the album? If this started coming together pre-lockdown, shutdown, everything like that, was there a decision to be made? Like, hey, do we put this out right now? Do the people need it right now more than ever? What was that like?
I mean, it was like I always work better when I got something to kick against. You know what I mean? So I think with it, at first it was a bit fucking wild and scary, but my fan base, we fucking came together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Youngbloods are like a community. Youngblood ain't me, Youngblood is us.
Yeah, your fan base is like honestly one of the most passionate in music, I feel. And I know this album is going to mean a lot to a lot of them. When did the way that you kind of treat your fan base, you kind of take them under your wing, when did that become an important mentality for you as an artist? Because you're so young, you're 23, a year older than mine. I find it super impressive how you're very protective over your fan base.
Dude, I think that's it. I think the thing about it is it's that I just wanted to meet some mates. You know what I mean? I just wanted to find some people who could exist in the same place as me. Because I grew up with a lot of people around me who didn't get me, who didn't understand me, who didn't want to understand me because I wasn't like them. You know what I mean? And I think the thing about it is when you find people and you belong somewhere, it's like you got lungs for the first time. It's like you find out you can breathe. You know what I mean? And it's like, holy fuck, I can breathe, I can be, I can exist. And I just don't see how I could be anything else of them.
Yeah.
I ain't here to be a fucking some cunt who gets in a van and drinks a load of fucking champagne and fucking talks a load of bollocks because a camera wants them to, and they're all just fucking playing at this idea of what rock and roll or pop is. I think it's a load of bollocks, to be honest. You know what I mean? I want to sever the head of that idea and put it in my fridge.
I think you're doing well so far with that, man. I
I think,
really do.
I think the thing about it is it's just like be who you fucking are. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So with this album, like I said, it's going to mean a lot to a lot of people, your fan base. There's a lot of very important songs about life on this that you've written. I know, I mean, the vulnerability that you shared on it is huge. You've talked about some of these songs being really hard for you to write. What were those albums for you growing up that you kind of turned to when you felt alone, when you felt weird?
Black Parade, My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, that's top five for me all time. I mean, you could hear the influence in your music. Obviously, people have made the Gerard Way comparisons,
Well,
and
that's so crazy to me. I'm like, whoa, that's wild.
pretty decent comparison to get, eh?
Green Day, American Idiot, all the way through.
Yeah.
Sorry, brother, my mate's unwrapping something. It's distracting the fuck out of me.
You're good.
Severe ADHD, and someone's in the corner just like. American Idiot, Black Parade, whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not. Arctic Monkeys, The Fame, Lady Gaga, and probably What's the Story, Morning Glory by Oasis.
I'm a huge Oasis fan. I got some Oasis questions later on, so I'm very excited to talk
I love that,
about
man.
the Big O. So let me ask you this about it. Was it a struggle to keep everything sonically feeling together? Because for me, the album really does feel like a complete work. It feels like, this is one body of work, weird. Even though some of the songs are so opposite from the last song you heard on the album, say Super Dead Friends and then Cotton Candy. those songs are polar opposites of the spectrum, but they all have this cinematic feel to them. Almost like you said, the Black Parade, the American Idiot, the first and last songs of this album. You know they're the first and last song just by listening to them.
But that's it. I just wanted. I don't feel like songs and music to me aren't as simple as it been songs and music. And that sounds fucking mad. Songs, I write songs because it replicates a feeling or an emotion. That's why they can sound so different, yet obviously it's me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think if you can listen to any song on this album, like, that's Yungblud. Even though it's multiple different
It's true.
multiple different zones. You know, I just wanted to, like, everything I feel I do. And I think that's one thing I get more fearless by every day that my fan base continue to grow and continue to accept me in the same way that I accept them. You know, I just, like, I wanted to do a fucking 5-minute song with 4 key changes and blah, blah, blah at the end of the album. I wanted to do 4 different time changes at the start of the album. I wanted to do a song about sex that sounds a bit like a Yungblud times Katy Perry song going into a fucking Beastie Boys number in the middle, because I'm as much of a product as my influence as the fact I got my smile from my mum and the way I itch my chin from my dad and my walk from my dad and the way I talk from fucking like Liam Gallagher and the way I fucking walk from, I don't fucking know, whatever. Do you know what I mean? And like the way I itch my nose from Snoopy. Do you know what I mean? It's like, fuck
Yeah.
it. It's like be an accumulation of different ideas. And I think these artists and these people that I've met my whole life have made me ultimately what I am.
So would you say that was there less of a conscious effort to make everything sound, hey, let's make sure this fits on weird, and more of just you being true to yourself, all wound up making it, the pieces of the puzzle fit?
But that's what I'm saying. How can it fit on weird if it's not weird?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? How the fuck, like, if I had 12 songs that sound the same, they wouldn't be weird, would it? It'd be what I'd call the album ordinary.
Wouldn't be a
You know,
great album. Wouldn't sell quite as well.
yeah, I was just like, it's so funny when you do your second album. When you do your second album, it's like people expect you to go more commercial and more in the center. And I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go louder, I'm gonna go prouder, I'm gonna go more experimental, and I'm just gonna write what I want, because at the end of the day, Yungblud ain't about the music. It's about the culture, and it's about the people, and it's about a message. It's about everyone coming together for one common reason, instead of it being this vapid idea. I think music can have such an agenda.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people can write for a motive and numbers and that kind of shit. But I was like, I just want to write music for a reason.
Yeah.
To talk about people and to tell and to ensue an energy in people that they ensue in me. If you think something's wrong, tell them to fuck off and be exactly who you are.
And what has this week been like? What's it been like for you since the release of Weird? Like your fan base finally, I know this album was so anticipated for so long. Now the release has finally happened. It's out. Like, do you feel amazing?
Bro, I feel mad. I'm like a fucking bunny and I'm bouncing around the forest all the time. Just been like with my bunny friends, man. It's mad. I'm like, I can't fuck it. I couldn't wait for it to come out. I was so
Yeah.
excited to
You must have
kind
been
of be
itching
like,
for everyone to hear it.
bro, and everyone fucking loved it. And
Yeah.
everyone got it. And I was just like, yes. I mean, the old men in the rock magazines who were watching too much internet porn didn't like it because, you know what I mean? They just, I think they got frustrated because their right hand was stuck to the keypad and they couldn't, you know what I mean? They don't like things to change, do the old keyboard warriors with a bit of cheese in the beard.
You know what
Um,
bothers me about them and you, not to cut you off, but some of them, they'll act like you don't wear your influences on your sleeve. And that's what really irks me about
or
their critiques.
completely get your influences wrong. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And it's just like, it's so funny because I'm excited we got onto this because like the state of rock music, right? every time some old bastard tries to hold rock music back because it doesn't sound like it did last time. And what's so funny is it's like we all become our dads.
Yeah,
You know what
it's
I mean?
true.
It's like the previous generation. Your dad was going, "Turn this shite off. It sounds like noise
Yeah.
about Nirvana." And then his dad was saying, "Turn this shite off. It sounds like noise about the Pistols." And then his dad was going, "Turn this shite off. It sounds like noise about the Stones." And then his dad was going, "Turn this noise off. Turn this shit off. And about Chuck Berry." And it's happened since the evolution, man. And it's so funny when you kind of touch it. It's like, you sound like your dad.
You've seen
Stop.
it with you, and you've seen it with MGK, who's got a great song in this album. He put out a phenomenal album this year, and there
Dude,
was
I
a
loved
ton of
it.
pushback from the critics of, hey, this is a hip hop guy trying to jump into pop punk, completely ignoring the fact that he was on Warped Tour, that he's
Yeah,
been
but
talking
that's what
about
I
Blink
mean.
forever.
Kelsey's my best bud, man. Kelsey's my
Yeah,
best mate. And it's just like, that's what we wanted to do, bro. When we did I Think I'm Okay, we was like, let's piss every motherfucker off.
it's an
Let's just
absolute
do
jam.
it.
It's one of my favorite songs in the album.
Bro, thank you. It's like, we just like, just do good shit. You know what I mean? It's like when everyone always asks, it like even plays me something. If like an artist plays me something, or they play me a new piece of music that like, or they're showing me some music. Everyone always thinks that what I want it to be heavy as fuck and got loads of attitude. I'm like, no, man. If it's cool, I'll love it. If it's good, I'll fucking love it.
Yeah, I mean, Cotton Candy is a good example of that,
But I
right?
think, man, it's complete candy floss, like angel wings with a fucking, I don't know, fucking strap on attached to the side.
But it'll get stuck in your head. Hey, that fucking hook stuck in your
Dum,
head for
dum,
the entire
dum.
day. So,
Yeah, that's what I'm
um,
saying.
another influence I would love to ask you about. I watched an interview recently with you where you talked about one Aldous Snow and Get 'Em to
Oh
the
my God.
Greek.
Love everything. I'm just like, that's me.
I
It's
love
hilarious.
Get 'Em to the Greek. It's one of my favorite, like, underrated comedies. And I saw an interview with you where you said you legitimately just take a ton of inspiration from Russell Brand in that movie.
Love, I fucking love it. My team hates it. Don't you, Tom? Everyone just says, why do I take inspiration from Aldous Snow? Oh, God. I'm just like, I just fucking get it, man. I get it. He's like Jagger. He's
Yeah.
like fucking Bowie.
I mean, the
He's like
Gallagher brothers, obviously a huge
the
influence on it.
Gallagher's, brother, and that's what I'm saying. Just British rock and roll that just gives zero fucks and just talks about life from a real perspective. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love the songs on this album where you really Brit it up, like Strawberry Lipstick, and you really
Yeah.
bring out like the Brit snarl.
England. Ah.
Yeah,
I mean, I wanted to bring that out. I wanted to bring it out in Lippy. I wanted to bring it out in Charity. I wanted to bring it out in Ice Cream Man because I am English.
hmm
I am English as fuck.
really, I couldn't
You know what
tell.
I mean? I like fish and chips. I like Yorkshire tea. I like HP sauce. I like cold weather and you know what I mean? A fucking cup and saucer.
Are you in England right now?
I'm in England right now. Yeah, I'm in London town.
And was this whole album recorded over in England or no?
No, it was mostly written in England, but recorded in Los Angeles, Hollywood.
Nice. It fits for the album, I guess. All right. So I got one final question, or I guess it transitions into a two-parter. But
I love
Noel,
it.
Noel Gallagher of Oasis has said before that everything he ever wanted to say was summed up in Rock and Roll Star, Live Forever, and Cigarettes and Alcohol. If I put you on the spot right now, I said pick
Whoa.
3 Youngblood songs that define everything you wanted to say and say everything you ever wanted to say. Which 3 would you select?
Fuck, I like you. This is such a sick question. I would probably say Loner, which isn't even on an album, that's just in the middle. Parents, Mars.
Those are your 3. You're sticking with them. Final answer.
I'll probably tell you next week a different answer, but for right now, ask me in 10 years, yeah?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sure you'll have a different answer.
When
And
we're all old as fuck and we look like old ladies' handbags.
yes. And then finally, in 2021, my favorite part of every live show that I ever go to is the opening song. When the band first comes on stage or the artist first comes on stage, the crowd's
No,
going ape
I
shit.
know it.
Maybe the curtain drops and, the concert
Super Dead
begins.
Friends. Super Dead
Okay. Is that
Friends.
what you're opening with?
I've got an idea. I've got like a Beastie Boys robot what we've made already. It's like boo boo boo, 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 under the water, and it's like boom boom boom. And the band walk onto it, the boo, 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 and it's got like this mad robot being like split out the mosh pit, split out the mosh pit, and split out, like
And
fucking
then just
Beastie
shit
Boys.
explodes.
And then it's just like, and then I'm like, split the fucking pit out, and then I'm come on, I'm like, and people just go crazy. Do you know what I mean? People just like, I want to live in it now, and just goes fuck. Especially after this year, I just want people to be like, holy fuck, what is going on?
Yeah, Yungblud shows are just going to be this massive release of energy, I think, from
Dude, I
every
can't
weird
wait.
emo kid in the entire world.
It's so sick, and like last time we played, we were breaking barriers, and we were like physically the front barrier were breaking in multiple venues. Crowd shove themselves that far forward. After a year and a half break, everyone's gonna
All
have to
these
be
new
like
songs that
Zorbo.
nobody's heard live before, yeah, you're going to have to put extra security measures in
Everyone's gonna have to be in like Zorbo so they don't hurt each other.
place. Youngblood, this has been a pleasure talking to you about the new album. Go check it out now. It's called Weird. Stream it on Spotify, buy it on iTunes, wherever music is sold. And look out for Youngblood in 2021. That opening with the robot's going to be sick. I'll be there in New York.
Dude, I can't wait. Thank you for having me, man. I love you and I love you all. Peace and love.